Today, we're going to talk through the NFL weekend preview, go over winners for tonight, and let's cash a squad ride. This is Behind the Lines.
A kid in full hockey fit pulls up and sits right in front of you, and you can't see a thing. This might be more of a me guy move than just bringing your glove to a game. At least your glove is not right in the people behind you's face. I'm not trying to grow my bones anymore. My bones are grown, bro. I don't need to drink milk. I'm not a baby. You know who drinks milk? Babies and children. I don't put milk in my coffee. I drink black coffee like a grown-up. He ain't throwing a pick. If I could speak another language, I'd say it in that one too. It's time to dust off old Krabs again, take the less than half a pick, and f***ing cash would be tonight's. Tail it, fade it, I don't give a shit. I'm making money on it.
What's going on, chat? Happy BTL Friday, episode 824 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by Bookit Sports. If you are not using Bookit Sports every single day, like me, like Jovan, like the rest of the Bookit Squad, change that today. All right, download Bookit right now on the App Store or Google Play and start utilizing the best bet tracking app out there by far on the App Store or Google Play, whatever phone you got. They've got Bookit ready, up and moving for you. Go check it out. All right, go check it out right now. Hurry up, go, go, go. Jovan, how we doing? Happy Friday.
Could be better, Krabs. Could be better.
Could be better.
Yeah.
Because the Bucs lost last night?
Yeah, it was pretty rad shit.
Yep.
But W Falcons plus 5.5.
We hit the squad rides. We'll take it. Yeah, you were never getting two. You're never getting the Lightning and the Bucs.
Yeah.
On primetime. So
Never were.
you take what you can get. We'll take a squad ride cash as well. W squad ride play moves us to, I believe, 6-4 in December.
7-4, I believe.
7-4.
That's before yesterday.
Yeah, 7-4. Okay. Okay, very good. Yeah, what a game, what a comeback. Kirk Cousins is him. Bijan's him. The Falcons defense showed up for the first time in a while. They had that big-time pick to pretty much flip the game. What a game. What a primetime game. We talked about it being a sneak over. It certainly was. There was plenty of points. Not really early on, but once that game got going, there were plenty of points. So, fun game to watch, whether you had a bet or not. That's exactly what we're asking for here in these primetime games. There's been a lot more high-scoring primetime games this season. Not everyone. I bet the unders are probably still profitable, but there's been a lot more exciting games in the primetime this season compared to the last couple. So it's good. It's good for the sports, and I've definitely enjoyed some of these primetime games. I know you probably wish last night played out a little bit differently, but again, you were never getting two. So you take what you can get, and luckily we'll be able to get our lick back on the NFL slate. We'll go over the NFL weekend preview. Hopefully we can hit all of our bets, go 10-0 on that puppy this weekend.
Goated.
Wouldn't that be something?
That'd be unbelievable.
Chat, there's a square on here. I'll go ahead and get ahead of this one. There's a square on here you guys are not going to like. There's a square on here you guys are not going to like. A square you're not going to appreciate. But a square that's going to turn green. And we'll get to it in a little bit. But I want to shout out some of the goats here. P-Dub, 731, 10-stream streak. WP-Dub, we appreciate you. Joey Loans as well, getting involved on a 3-stream streak. Got to start somewhere, Joey. Appreciate you getting involved. DJ Fitz, how about a 65-stream streak for DJ Fitz? 65-stream streak. Let's go, Fitzy.
Look at Fitz, man.
Attaboy. Attaboy, Fitzy. You're him. Appreciate you, Beast. And yeah, Kyle Pork legacy game last night as well. He must own the Bucs.
Dude, just.
I saw he had 7% of his entire career's fantasy points in that game last night.
Yeah. I wonder what it would be if you took all the games against the Bucs. It probably has to be close to 25 at least.
Might be half. Yep.
Yeah,
we got Rob Puckline getting involved with a resub. Sure. Let's go, Rob. Attaboy. W resub for 6 months. He says W's. Rob, you're him. You're a W. Appreciate you, Beast. And Brian C. getting involved on the 45-stream streak. W, fellas. How about Big Suarez? W pickup for the Braves. That is a good pickup for the Braves. And I'm sure, Brian C., you're probably just as happy as I am not having to face Pete Alonso every couple weeks in our division. So, shout out Goots.
Pete Alonso mentioned.
Appreciate that one.
Press conference today at 3.
Okay. How about Sade Whiteman getting involved with a 5-unit subway? Let's go, Sade. Attaboy.
Fuck it.
Attaboy, Sade. We appreciate you, Beast. W's. Big day today. You guys know BTL Fridays are the best days. We lock in on Fridays. We do plenty of work. It's honestly probably our busiest day. So let's have a day today. We're going to go over the Sharp report for tonight. I know the slate tonight is not great, but it ain't much, but it's honest work. We'll make do. And then we'll go over the NFL weekend preview. Probably touch on the Army-Navy game as well. And get you guys right for the weekend. So appreciate you guys getting involved in tailing. Let's go ahead and finish recapping here. Looks like we got a treasure train looming. Very cool. Those don't grow on trees, folks.
Getting close.
Those do not grow on trees. A treasure train is incoming, folks. Okay, so if you want to get involved, now could be the time to drop a subby. Let's go ahead and recap. Let's pull up the Sharp report and see how we did overall yesterday. Pretty solid. Pretty solid. We take that. 4-1, 3-1-1.
Sure.
Okay. W day. We got 2 in the Iowa State game. Very rare. You don't see getting 2 very often. So, yeah, the only loser on here, we each had 1. The Winnipeg Jets, and I made that very clear on Sweats last night. 1 week ban from hockey. You will not see me betting hockey until Christmas week. Done. Giving it a break. Can't hit a square on Prize Picks, and cannot hit a straight bet on the ice. So the ice is freezing cold, and got to lean into what's hitting right now, and that's football, and that's college basketball. How about a treasure train aloof? Sure. Treasure train aloof, folks. Wow, this is a rare treasure train.
Whoa, this is rare.
This is a rare treasure train, folks. Also, 35% off, 5+ sub gifts. So if you're in the giving moods, maybe you haven't given out a sub in the stream before and you watch every day, that's okay. But if you're in the giving mood, if you're in the holiday spirit, if you're trying to buy Goots a new sweater for the Christmas holiday coming up, think about donating some subbies. If you donate 5 subs, you get 35% off. Just like Big Cheesy just did. Let's go, Big Cheesy. He said, I'll buy Goots a nice
sweaters.
I'll get Goots a nice new button down.
Lamar sweater
season.
in cart.
I'll buy Goots a nice Pete Alonso polar bear themed holiday sweater.
That works too.
Forward sweater.
That works too.
Sure.
God, awful
Treasure Train level 3. Wow. Cubbies WC said I'm willing to get involved here. He says, hold my beer. I would like to drop a 5-unit sub whale as well. Let's go, Cubbies WC. Cannot let Wags Locks get swept either. He also resubbed. Was not a 5-unit sub whale, but it was a resub. W Wags Locks. My fantasy season really just ended to Kyle Pitts. It happens. It happens. That's why we love fantasy football. That's why we love betting on football, right? Because not everything that you'd expect happens every night, right? You had Kyle Pork going off last night. We got Preston cashing. Sean Tucker, first touchdown scorer bets. That's why we love football. That's why we play the game.
Devin Culp, anytime bets.
Devin Culp, anytime touchdown. Sure.
It started out.
Sure. Trent said he got a new shirt for the poker tourney just so Chad would stop bitching. Probably a smart move, Trent.
Or new jacket, too. That's what you need. You wear that same little jacket. That's what they're bitching about.
Yep. Yeah, he's wearing that jacket again tonight.
You might wear
Guaranteed.
the same jacket.
He fucking loves that jacket. How about JJJ Quack getting involved with a 5-unit sub? Well, let's go, JJJ. Can I call you Triple J?
Jaron Jackson Jr.
Can I call you Triple J, JJJ Quack? We appreciate you, Beast. W, 5-unit sub whale, team player, glue guy, not a me guy. He's locking in on Friday, and he's dropping a 5-unit sub whale for the peeps. Let's go, JJJ Quack.
Give me a personal cannon. I would love a personal cannon.
Wow.
You see his press conference?
No.
Oh, that's.
Oh, wait. You're talking about Todd Bowles?
Yeah.
Just cursing every other word?
Yeah, and blaming the players.
Wow, I didn't see that part.
Yeah. Said all of us coaches are doing everything we can. Players just don't want it, pretty much. I was like, dude, we're lining up the shortest corner on the field while we're blitzing 8 on Kyle Pitts, who has 150 yards in the second quarter. That's just, we're trying to put a square peg into a round hole, and we're blaming the fucking players. Been doing that for weeks. He needs to be burned. I'm shocked he still has a job.
Whoa.
Nah.
We got, I believe, Trent coming in with a 10-unit sub whale. Let's go, Trent.
And he says he just hit fat on black.
Wow, let's go, Trent. I've always wanted to go down there to that casino. I've heard pretty good things about Atlantis. Maybe one day I'll get down there and get to play some games. It'd be fun. Just hit fat on black. Attaboy, Trent. W subbies, we appreciate you, Beast. Save some of those coins. Long day
temporarily
tonight.
in on chat or on Trent.
Yeah, in on Trent.
Super rare.
W team player move, dropping a 10-unit sub whale. Sure he can. And yeah, we got a 21 Savage album. I have not listened to that yet. Dubs. It's definitely a great spot for kids, but it's fun. Yeah, isn't it like a family resort?
Yeah, pretty much.
But I mean, they got a casino, so that's pretty fun, pretty cool. How about Sade coming back with another 5-unit whale? Let's go, Sades. Attaboy.
Sade going band for band with Trent.
Gonna buy Goots a shiny new winter jacket. Okay, W Sade, we appreciate you, Beast. A 5-unit sub whale. Shout out all the goats. Sade, Trent, JJJ Quack. We got Cubs WC. Big Cheesy getting involved. Wags Locks. Sade Whiteman, excuse me. All these goats coming in here. Splooging subbies to start out the BTL Friday. Love to see it. Tyler Johnson coming in with a 20-stream streak. You guys are himmy. You guys are himmy. Tell Trent to pick me for Pickett, bro. For Pickett Pro. Ooh. What, is he giving away a free Pickett Pro subscription or something?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Any card shops down there in the Bahamas, Trent? If there are, I'm sure you found
I'm sure he's made that Google search. Probably on the plane before he even landed.
That could be a good business idea. Open up a card shop down there.
Yeah.
When Trent retires, he's just going to be like when people retire, they go work at like a surf shack or something on the beach. Trent's going to go open a card shop down in the Bahamas. It's going to be his retirement gig. All right. Tyler Johnson, you're him, bro. It feels empty not having a full slate of college football to go through. I know, but hey, we got NFL previews. We got Sharp Report for tonight. We've got Army Navy to talk about on Saturday. We've got enough. And W Rav, he's going to host the Surge stream right after BTL today as well. Appreciate that, Rav.
I think
You're
today might send Rev over total Surge streams for the year compared to Trent.
I mean, yeah,
This one might do it.
He's done more.
Yeah, he's got the trophy for the year. Appreciate that, Trent.
Ooh, Trent's out on cards. Okay.
Out on cards. He literally sent me,
I love that.
I think last night, something saying me ripping, or not ripping the update. Soft.
Mm. Mm.
I mean, it's just.
Mm.
It's just.
Shout out Rav, who went 3 for 4 on his Surge prize picks lineup last night. And I believe the only square that lost was an esports hook.
I'm shocked we haven't gotten a Trent comment on feed about that.
Esports hook.
I mean, that's
brutal from Charger, who typically delivers. So he gets a pass because he's typically splooging green squares, but brutal. Esports in the 4-man, it typically works. If Charger goes on the Surge stream and tells you to put it in the 4-man, you put it in the 4-man. He's almost at that Phil Utley level of when he tells a seasoned square, you got to take it. He's cracked.
Yeah, an E-hook is tough. No beef, Stewski. We certainly
an E-hook.
Certainly are not forgetting about the FCS game.
An E-hook. We'll talk about the FCS game. Let's finish recapping here so we can get into today's winners. I believe we have to recap the Sharp Report 4-man that kind of cashed last night. Sure.
Yep.
Sorta.
Could have gotten a 10 if Baker was really good at football.
Yep. Yep. Chad, is there something you've noticed about my squares this week? Because they've pretty much all been green.
They've
pretty much all been green, and they've pretty much all been less than. So keep that in mind when you're trying to craft up winners on prize picks, when you were trying to make money and not just have fun and watch a guy splooge for 40 points. If you're trying to make money, think about taking some less thans on prize picks. Just think about it. Just think about it. I promise if you do, you don't have to take a less than for every square, but half your squares should be less thans. Give yourself a chance. Give yourself a chance. And that's exactly what we did last night. We had a couple less thans, and we had some great squares from Jovan as well. I know Igbuka pushed. That's okay. It's been a while since we've seen the Sharp Report 4-man turn green. We'll take a 6X. We'll take a 6X. Okay? Great work last night, and Kirk Cousins was free as well.
I mean, that was Todd Bowles' bet.
Free.
Had 200 before we even turned the game on, pretty much.
Yep. A little while. If Tucker doesn't steal that touchdown, it was 14.1 for Bucky. Let's go, Krabs. Brian C., he was never scoring, though. That's the thing. He was never, ever scoring. And if you know football, which I know you do, Brian C., not just talking to you, but if you know ball, you know that Tucker's been poaching goal line carries for the last couple of weeks. He's kind of turned into their goal line back. So, yeah, it's just kind of what the Bucs do. They use Bucky to get down the field, and once they get up to inside the 10, they're using Tucker. They're using Rashad White.
Yeah. Thoughts on this comment from Canadian Goots? Start pairing every Sharp Report 4-man with Judge less than home runs.
Ooh, genius. it really is just a free bingo square. It just beefs up any lineup you place. It just beefs it up a little bit.
I don't understand how you have the wherewithal to keep pushing that button. 2 years, okay.
Well, I'm not a quitter, Jovan, that's for sure.
That's certainly
sure.
aren't.
Let me take a guess. Krabs going to take the over in the Army-Navy game for no real reason other than it hasn't hit. I mean, this is a DM you received? And he's going to say he's a sharp contrarian better.
Over hit last year.
Yeah, it has hit.
We were
Krabs
at
is
game.
literally there taking the over.
This is the perfect summary of my job at this company where last year me and Goots went to the Army-Navy game. We hit every single bet we took.
Every way.
We hit the over. We hit Navy. We hit Navy first team to score. We hit Navy first score field goal. We hit every single bet we placed at the Fed in that game, including the over. And people just be saying shit. Trent, I'm not talking to you, bro. Whoever sent that DM is not very smart. Not very smart. And that's how the majority of people think, unfortunately. So I will not be taking the over in this Army-Navy game because the last couple of years it's actually hit. And that person who DM you, Trent, knows nothing about football or the most important football game of the season in the Army-Navy game. They know nothing about it. All right, we'll talk about the Army-Navy game a little bit more. We'll go over some plays, some prize big squares we like in that game. Very, very, very concerned for my midshipmen in that game on Saturday, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
For now, let's finish up recapping here. King of the board. Let's see how we did yesterday. Boom.
Got to.
Boom.
Super rare getting to.
Boom.
One game.
Yep.
Right after Trent says poop for shit.
Trent said poop versus shit. Next thing you know, 2-0. Hashtag thank you, Trent.
Appreciate.
Yep. Great day yesterday. We're nothing to celebrate. We're still 2-2. I think we're tied up somehow. So I'm not a doctor. I don't know the math there with the units, but looks like we're both 2-2 down.
I think you
about
have
0.2.
You have slight edge, I would think. By a couple cents.
Yeah, we got to figure that out. But it might not matter if one of us hits a bet today and the other doesn't. So we got one more day for King of the Board this week. College basketball week. I hope we both go 1-0 today and finish in the green. Okay.
Some plus check.
Yeah.
Give me some cush.
Yep. Krabs, I must know if you were fading Phillip Rivers if he's starting Sunday. Tough spot there, Generico, because part of me wants to fade Phil. Part of me is thinking, who the hell wants to bet on Phil? So I'm kind of in a pickle when it comes down to that game. Obviously, I love fading the Seahawks. It has not really worked so far this season, full transparency. But wouldn't it be something? It'd be pretty hilarious if the one time fading the Seahawks works, it's when Phillip Rivers is coming out of the grave. He hasn't played a football game in 5 years. So yeah. I certainly lean the Chargers, but I'm probably not going to get there. I'm probably going to have to let that game splooge, to be honest with you. Probably going to have to let that game splooge. Yep. The slate sucks today. It ain't much, but it's honest work. We've got some college basketball. We've got some NBA and some NHL, but I will not be partaking on the ice. It's just the plays have not been hitting. Like last night,
Especially
Winnipeg.
if you look and see who plays today.
Winnipeg last night was the final nail in the coffin.
Sure you don't want to take a play today?
No, I'm not betting it for over a week.
Have you seen? I just want you to look at the slate. Take a peek. Not that I'm encouraging it because we know the rule, but
the Blues.
Krabs' favorite. I think it's a good team. Which means the Blackhawks are
probably free.
Going to be air. Whenever the Blues are sharp, they're cake. Whenever they're anti-sharp, they're the freest bet on the world.
Probably free. Unbelievable. I can't do it.
Could go double or nothing. 2 weeks on the line.
I can't. I can't do it anymore. All right. Let's move.
It's a strong lean for Krabs.
Strong lean, but I'm not placing anything on the ice for at least a week. Taking a break. It just doesn't work. And I'm certainly not betting on the Orioles on the ice.
The Ice Orioles?
The Ice O's. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's fair.
I'm not doing it.
Incredibly fair.
All right, let's move on. Let's get into today's Sharp Report. Enough yapping. Just a strong lean on the Blues there, but I'm not betting them. Okay? Not betting them. Driving down the Jersey Turnpike and just passed a car with paint on the back that says Go Navy #49. Okay. Probably one of the fans. Pretty cool. I would love to snap my fingers and be at that game, although it's going to be freezing tomorrow.
Yeah.
In Baltimore, freezing tomorrow. Yeah, I wouldn't have my my security in Goots, so I will not be making that trip. But certainly will be tapped in. I think it's on at what 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, it's usually like what 3:30 Eastern, something like that. Yep.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. For now, let's talk about tonight's winners. We got to kind of dig in the bottom of the barrel here.
Bottom of the barrel.
Taking South Carolina State in this game tonight. Taking 3 college basketball plays, 3 college basketball winners, and it starts out with the South Carolina State Bulldogs getting 15.5 points against Queens. Don't like fading Queens. I think Queens is a sleepy mid-major. They're a team that's very well coached since they've gotten called up from D2 a couple years ago. They've kind of been on the up and up, and they've had some pretty good players who've transferred to bigger schools. But I simply cannot resist. I simply cannot stay off this spot. Looking at the spread for South Carolina State, the Bulldogs, moving from plus 17.5 to plus 15.5. Jovan, you want to take a guess at South Carolina State's record so far this season?
Lying if I'm guessing. I know they have no wins.
0-10. 0-10 for the Bulldogs. Just an embarrassing start to the season. Now, they played a couple decent teams. They played Louisville. They've played Charleston, Chattanooga, Missouri. They have gotten spanked in all of these games, even in the games that they could maybe potentially compete in, like against Charleston Southern in their last game on December 8th. They lost 84-44. So they're not competitive. They're 3-7 against the spreads. They're 0-10 outright. So you're probably asking yourself, why the hell are you betting on this South Carolina State team? Well, it looks like one of the sharper plays on the hardwood tonight in college basketball. Not really sure why they're catching steam or down from 17.5 to 15.5, but I thought they should be opened up in the 20s on the spread in this game, to be honest with you, with how bad they've looked so far this season. Now, this team does have a couple guys. They've got Owen Bronston, who's a decent junior, decent guard for this team. Cameron Clark as well can shoot the rock a little bit too. He's averaging close to 13 points per game. But these kids are homegrown. They've been here the last couple years. And, I mean, this team doesn't really utilize NIL or get a lot of great names in the portal, but they've got a couple kids who can shoot the rock a little bit. And I'll take this Bulldogs team to keep this game, I think, within 10. I think within single digits. But we've got 15.5 points to play with against Queens. I still cannot figure out, for the life of me, why this spread is moving down for South Carolina State, a team that's so bad against the spread. They've gotten destroyed in their last 3 games, giving up 80-plus points in all 3 of those games, and scoring, getting blown out, scoring 60 points a game in those last 3 games. So this is the weirdest line of the day in college basketball, and I have to get involved. Give me the South Carolina State Bulldogs in the MEAC to keep this game within 15 against our beloved Queens.
Or just unbelievable Queens fade.
Yep.
Just incredible. I
Yep.
don't know how many times we've seen that.
Yeah. Not very. It might be a first.
Yeah, there hasn't been very
It
many
might be
times.
a first, to be honest with you. Put in for a silent auction last night at the charity event for a dinner with Aaron Judge. If I won, I would have invited Krabs, but it got too expensive because Judge is not a me guy. Whoa.
Nah.
Judge is a me guy, first off. Second off, appreciate the look out there, Big Cheesy. Third off, I would respectfully decline. No need for me to go eat lunch with a me guy like that or eat dinner with a me guy like that. So it would be a waste of time, and I would not like to sit at the same table as that oaf. I'm good. You think when he eats, he just puts the fork through the middle of his gap teeth? Or do you think he eats like a normal person?
Nah,
Good question.
that's just.
You think he sticks the whole fork through there? Or?
I don't know what he does, Krabs. Whatever, however way he eats leads to 60 bombs. Whatever he's doing, he's got to do it.
Probably cheating somehow, some way. There's a dinner, not lunch. I will respectfully decline, Big Cheesy. But I appreciate the invite. All right. Jovan, I want to hear your sell job on your first straight bet of the night for tonight. Are you taking us to the FCS?
I am.
Okay.
Did not forget about this game. Whoever was saying that in chat, which this game's odd because I don't know how to put it into FBS terms, but Montana State's always here. Their team has been here, done that before. Stephen F. Austin's kind of the newer team, I guess, in the fold that's going for a historic season. I think if they were to win tonight, it would be their deepest playoff run in their football program's history. But this game's odd because these are 2 really good defenses. I mean, for comparing them to the last couple matchups each teams have played. Montana State's been one of the best ones in the FCS for a couple years now, and it's a lot of the same this year. Stephen F. Austin, as good as their offense is, their defense is also great. And the thing that kind of makes this odd is the fact that the line is moving up, both of them, towards Montana State at home, up to like 14.5 now, where it's briefly down a little lower. But that makes a lot of sense. Going to Bozeman's like a house of horrors. I've seen a tweet I was calling it out earlier. For a lot of teams, because they're a veteran team that's done that before, but the total's also moving up for a defensive dominant team who just played a super low scoring game against another really good defense. So that means one of two things for me. Both of these like run defenses are good. The front sevens are good. I'm not gonna act like I kept up with them enough, but I know enough familiar faces in this game to know that, especially because some of the guys on this team, I don't know if you remember Krabs, but like there's a couple FBS guys in here, aka Justin Lamson, who used to play for Stanford and was their like Taysom Hill type quarterback. Richard Reese for Baylor is also on SFA, but a couple names. Like it's going to be tough for both these teams to run the rock, which for Montana State, that makes them a little uncomfortable because they're one of the most dominant rushing attacks in FCS. So they're going to have to throw the ball a little bit, which stops the clock and makes more explosive plays happen. Exactly the way SFA wants to play on offense. That's more of their comfort zone. They're going to sling rock, which we'll talk about when talk about some squares. But for two usual run dominant, ground pound dominant teams, you have to throw the rock a little bit. I think that's why this total was moving up when it has absolutely no business moving up, especially if the spread's moving towards the favorite in here with the dominant defense. I think you're about to see SFA make this game probably a little weird, and you're going to make Montana State get out of their comfort zone and sling that fucking rock.
All right, little FCS over for you guys here. SF Austin, Montana State, over 53.5 from Jovan. Love the sell job. Love the play. What time is that puppy kicking off tonight? You know?
7.
Okay.
I think.
Cool. All right, we'll come back to the rest of those plays. For now, swinging around Gucci, I got another college basketball nasty dog to take here in Austin Pay. If you guys aren't hip to Austin Pay, I'll give you a quick breakdown. They've got an electric coach, Corey Gibson, who wears like full military fits on the sidelines. I don't know how he got approval for that, but he earned himself a contract extension, I believe, last year for the good job he's done at Austin Pay. Trying to turn the Governors around. I think he's a former player as well. This team has had some success the last couple of years at times in the ASUN, and I think they pull off the upset tonight at home against East Tennessee State. They're getting 3.5 points at home. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. Looks like another sharp dog here against ETSU, who's been on fire of late. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. They've covered 4 of their last 5 games. They're 6-2 against the spreads. Their only loss in non-cover in the last 2 weeks was against Dayton, and they still put up 71 points against Dayton. So not really sure why East Tennessee State is not laying closer to 9.5 points here. I don't really care if they're on the roads. They should absolutely dismember this Austin Pay team on paper, but the spread tells me this game's going to be weirdly close. We're going to see an absolute legacy performance from Corey Gibson on the sidelines, probably in the camo pants, and you're going to see Colin Parker and Tate McCubbin, the 2 best scorers for this Austin Pay team, carry them to a cover or potentially an outright win, an upset at home in this game to stop the bleeding and get back to 500s. I think this team has not reached their potential yet, and before they get into conference play, they pull off a big-time upset against the red-hot East Tennessee State squad.
Sure. I was looking at that line. Looked a little odd.
Yeah,
such a crabby play.
Looks weird, and I went in.
Sure.
Yep.
On that.
What else are you cooking up over there? You got an NBA play for us?
Yeah, which
Cool.
something on this game probably tickles your gym because taking a team total over for the Jazz, and it's for a couple different reasons. The Grizzlies are super rare I know they used to play a little faster, and with Ja, it's a little different, but super rarely do you see a team that's got the numbers that they do defensively hold the team or multiple teams in a row to under 100 points. Exactly what they've done. Play the Clippers and the Blazers, and back-to-back games where they haven't allowed 100. Now they get to play Utah, and Ja Morant is back today, Krabs. And I believe Zach Edey's also going to be out for a little bit, is what it is. But Ja Morant, I wanted to fade that in some form or fashion, whether it's just taking the Jazz or taking them to score points. Defensively, Ja Morant being in the lineup honestly probably hurts them because a lot of the guards, whatever you want to call it, are better defenders than them. But he gives them a little more of the pace on the offensive side to make this kind of a track meet type game, play a lot in transition, which I think works in the Jazz's favor, especially when you're potentially losing Zach Edey as rim protection against a Jazz team that has a lot of guys that are pretty tall, can hang in the paint with him. So I feel like this is a game. Obviously, I want to fade the whole Ja coming back narrative, but if you're the Jazz in this game, what a perfect game to get out and transition against the defense and a guy in John Morant who, I mean, every time you have a point of attack defender like John Morant, they are going at him. Not a great one. So I think this is going to be an up and down game, and I like taking the dog. I guess team total overs favorites where I find better success.
Okay.
Total in this game's going up. A lot of that has to do with Ja being in the lineup, so good news there. But I think the Jazz offense is fucking.
Yeah.
They just had a couple pretty shit games themselves, points wise. They're coming off of that absolute drubbing against the Thunder. Which, if there's any time you want to back a team total over, probably after playing one of the better defenses.
Yeah.
Which they are.
Well, let's get your look back after that brutal beat last night with the Trailblazers team total over that reeled you back in.
Oh, reeled me back in.
Sucked the life out of you, not in a good way.
Yep.
Close it out. Brutal. Brutal. Also realizing right now that this looks like there's a Jeeb on the table. It is not a Jeeb. It is a water behind a cup of coffee. So I'll move the water over here so it does not look like I have a Jeeb right next to me on the desk.
Sure.
Does that work, Goots?
Yeah, that works.
More some Mootsie in Trent's office.
It does actually look like a Jeep, though, if you put it right here.
I mean, yeah, the way you had it, yes.
Yeah, I see.
No Jeeps in sight. Okay. Let's move. Got one more CBB play for you guys. 3 college basketball plays, 3 college basketball winners, 2-1 at worst. This is my favorite one of them all. The best game of the night tonight, Texas UConn. Is that fair? I feel like that's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Best college basketball game by far, probably.
Low bars.
Low bars.
Hokies don't play, so.
Hokies don't play. They did job last night. Neo 30-piece, and nobody's talking about it. I will. UConn has been on absolute fire, 9-1. They're beating good teams. They're playing good teams. They got a tough schedule in the non-con. They beat Illinois. They beat Kansas. They beat Florida. Would not be surprised if they get caught up here in a sleepy spot and Texas makes this game weird or even covers. Texas has looked pretty good in their last couple games as well. Besides that blowout to UVA, they look great against NC State. They destroyed a team out there in Hawaii, and they destroyed Southern in their last game, 95-69. So Texas has been in a lot of games with some points of late. They've actually hit the over in 5 straight games. They're 7-3 to the over so far this season. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. They are 7-3 to the over so far this season, and they've been scoring a lot of points. They've been in 5 straight games with overs, like I said. So perfect time to sell high on the Texas offense and lean into an under here. UConn as well has been hitting some overs of late too. 4-6 on the season, but they're coming off of back-to-back overs where they scored 77-plus points. Their offenses look great in their last 2 games against solid opponents. But for some reason, Jovan, after both these teams have been involved in a lot of overs of late, the total in this game is dropping from 147.5 to 145.5. Then you go look at the prize pick squares in this game. All the charts are very, very green. All the popular squares are pretty much in this game for college basketball, and they're all relatively green charts. Everybody's taking the more thans. Looks like a bunch of free more thans. We'll talk about my favorite square in a minute. But that's also a great sign for the under as well. Seeing all those green squares up there on prize picks on the pop tab under the CBB category tells me we're going to get less points than people expect in this one. And I love the total dropping in the game of the night on national TV. This one's on Fox. Cannot wait to watch this one. Home game for UConn. I would not be shocked if you don't get UConn's best in this game. Not saying Texas wins outright. I think they probably will cover, but I'll take the under instead, and I'll fade their offense. It's been in a bunch of overs in a row. And I'll fade UConn's offense as well in a sleepy spot before a big game next week. We'll talk about a square in a moment here that I'm in love with in this game. Okay?
Sure. Got out.
Yep. Jovan, you got another college basketball play here for the peeps? Sure.
Yeah, I'm betting on McNeese.
Okay.
To drop some knuckle
Okay.
on East Texas A&M, formerly known as Texas A&M Commerce. But Eastern Texas A&M, sneaky wag. This entirety of the year. They didn't cover their first game of the year, but they've covered 6 straight ever since, including one against big and bad UConn, where they somehow hung in that game. They actually defended pretty well, but it's kind of a challenging matchup for their offense. Their offense is really not the reason they've covered or kept a lot of these games close in the first place, but they struggle with pretty much everything that McNeese excels at. Like, they're not a great 3-point shooting team. Not many teams in the Southland are, including McNeese at that, but the numbers would tell you that because they take very few of them. So they're pretty efficient in that. But when you have a team like McNeese that kind of funnels you to the paints and you can't really shoot over them in the paint because they're also a great defense is good at like there as good as they are on the perimeter.
Mm.
It's a challenge. They also turn the ball over a shit ton, and that's exactly what McNeese wants to do. It's not just a Will Wade thing. This current team does it damn near as much as that other two teams that did. So it's a challenge, and they're starting to heat up a little bit, starting to play better. They've been tinkering around with all of the, I guess, big men in the rotations a little more. They've been going with a little like Larry Johnson. They got Machar in there the last couple games, and started to work defensively down the stretch against Rhode Island, which kind of kept them to a big win there and held off their little comeback attempt. But seems like they're starting to figure it out. This is the perfect matchup for them. Obviously, they're going back to Lake Charles in their house, where it's been a fortress for a couple years now. Will Wade or not, hard to win there. And they do have one really bad loss on the card now that's starting to look worse and worse by the day with UIW that happened in their house. I feel like they're about to go on a pretty good run here, and I think they've started it, but this feels like a knucking it.
Okay.
I think it's a 30-point game.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it. That's some serious line respect for McNeese, and they're catching a little bit of steam as well, up 2 points from 17.5 against an ETAM team playing pretty decent right now. So they've covered like 6 games in a row.
Yeah.
Could be a good time to fade.
Could be a great time to fade. They also just had a really good offensive performance. Granted, it was UCA, but it's very few times that they're going to score 75 points against some competent team, especially shooting as well as they did from the field in that game and getting the free throw line 25 times, which they really don't do like that. It's a great time to fade. I don't know how they score.
Yeah, great sell job. Great sell job. Looks like Trent saw somebody place a 10K NBA wager at the casino. He said the play was the Bulls minus 3.5.
Kind of like the
Really? I've seen them at minus 2.5. They haven't won a game in forever.
Yeah.
Okay. Won't be fading that puppy. God, they're just taking 10K wagers down there in Atlantis.
I guess so. Trent, you should match.
That
With
could
a
be a good
10K
price match
10K
guarantee.
of your own.
Yeah. All right. That could have been Chewy as well. That could have been a sneak Chewy. All right. Is that a fade news reports? I don't know, DJ Fitz. I don't know if I'm fading that play. That might be a winner. That might be a winner. All right. Awesome. We got Kevin Hart dropping a follow as well. That could be the real Kevin Hart.
That could be Kev.
Could not confirm or deny it.
Well, Kev.
That could be Kev. Awesome. All right, let's talk about some prize pick squares. Enough yapping about the book plays. Let's talk about some squares. Told you guys I have a square in this Texas game that I'm in love with. How about the most popular square on prize picks for college basketball today? Jordan Pope, 9.5 points. I'm taking the less than against a UConn team that has not been playing a ton of defense recently, but we know it's in there and at home. In a game I love the under in, I think they limit Texas's best scorer, who's been going off of late. I cannot believe his points prop was at 9.5, still in single digits after he's had 28-point performance against NC State. He had 18 points against Southern. He even had 10 points against UVA when they got destroyed. So this looks like the easiest square to take on prize picks, the more than. And that's why we're taking the less than. We're fading the easiest looking square on prize picks. We're fading Jordan Pope, the best scorer on this Texas team, who's been going off of late against a UConn team that I'm willing to bet they play a little bit of defense tonight at home. Maybe they don't score a ton, but I think Texas struggles offensively, kind of like they looked against UVA, against a legitimate defense tonight on the road. So I'll fade Jordan Pope at that crazy 9.5 points number.
Jordan Pope. Love
Crazy.
fading Jordan Pope.
Cool.
I got a lot of licks in last year. I think I missed my one shot on him this year. Might have been that UVA game. But haven't gotten one. I'm joining you. Excited for that.
Big Baller coming in with a 5-unit sub whale. He says, Goots, get your Big Pete sweater. Let's go, Big Baller.
It's on the way,
Pete
Big Baller
sweaters.
W.
It's on the way. He just paid for expedited shipping now
Nah.
with those 5 subbies. Let's go, Big Baller. Atta boy. Appreciate you coming in with a 5-unit sub whale. Sure we can. Sure we can. Let's go.
That's hard.
That's a lot of heart from Big Baller. Appreciate you, Beast. Appreciate all the goats who've come in here and dropped some subbies today. Dragon Slayer, I forget if we got you or gassed you up or not, but Dragon Slayer, you're him as well. Appreciate the subby. Sade, you're him as well, but you already know that. All right, awesome. Let's move. I got one more prize pick square for you guys here, and I am fading Liam McNeely, trying to keep up with the college basketball card. I know he's a recent graduate of college basketball, but still makes me think of, speaking of UConn, makes me remember UConn when he was on that team leading them in scoring. I'm taking Liam McNeely is less than 6.5 points. Had some trouble finding a second square here and figured I would try to find one of the nastier less thans I can in the NBA for tonight. And this Liam McNeely square was right up there. 6.5 points for a guy coming off of debatably his best game against Denver, where he had 13 points against a pretty good Nuggets team. He's had double-digit points in 2 of his last 3 games. Thought it was pretty weird seeing him only at 6.5 points against a Bulls team. But I also like the under in this game as well when I was looking at the cards. Kind of like the under 228.5 in Chicago and Charlotte. Thought that was a pretty low total involving the Bulls. Down from 235.5 to 228.5. So not expecting a ton of points. I almost put that under in the game on the Sharp Report. I'll keep it as an honorable mention, but I cannot resist fading Mr. Liam McNeely coming off his best NBA game of his career, where he had 13 points against the Nuggets, a pretty good squad. Tonight he faces off against the Bulls in a game with a low total. I'm going to fade Liam McNeely in a game I like the Bulls in a game I like the under in. We'll take us less than 6.5 points and hold our breath.
Goodness. What a Krabs.
Nasty.
Out of left field.
Nasty.
Golly.
Yep. All right, what are you cooking up over there?
Take you to Max Christie points to start. A little role player. Sneak have been kind of doing this pretty much for anybody. Any team that has like a solid big man, which you can argue there are a couple there that are playing there for the Mavs today, but solid big man. There's typically a couple weird role players squares that are going to spot up from 3, and they typically have a correlated field goal made square that looks a little weird. Anytime you're playing the Nets, I pretty religiously have taken it, and there's one today, and I love especially that Anthony Davis is coming off of one of his better games this season. He had like 29 points, absolutely dominated the Rockets ball team. Incredibly tough matchup, even though they're a little shorthanded, but he dominated them. You also have Cooper Flag. You have guys off the bench. So, like, if I'm the Nets today, who have already struggled the entirety of the season against any catch-and-shoot guys, any corner 3 guys, facing off against Anthony Davis coming off a game like that, I can only assume you're going to try and do everything in your power to not get beat by him or anybody in the paint. You're probably going to help a little more. So all the spot-up guys, I think, for the Mavs are going to have a field day today and have as many open looks as they truly want in this game. So I think the beneficiary of that's probably the guy with the weird 2.5 field goals made square and Max Christie.
Yep.
Taking his 8 points, going to be a little bit faster of a game too, which when he's in transition, when the Mavs play like half court, goes a lot through AD, but a lot of the other guys like Christie and even like Brandon Williams, when he has the ball in his hands, those are the guys that thrive when it's a little more of a transition game. Probably going to see that tonight. So I'm taking his point square.
Okay.
Then Sam Vidlak is my square for the over, the
Yep.
FCS. Weird one because it's going to be a chunk play type of game for him because Montana State is a tough defense. We just talked about the run defense is fantastic. You're on the road, hostile environment, of course. It's going to be rocking there tonight, but he loves to just take shots. So it's either going to be all or nothing, I think, for their offense tonight. It's going to be you're getting stuffed in the run game, you're having trouble moving the ball, or you're going to throw 60-yard bombs, pretty much. So I think this is one where you're probably going to have a negative game script too. I've seen some FFA bets on the feed. We're talking about it in chat. I see some people like them. Don't know if I necessarily agree, but being the fact that the line keeps moving their way, I think this is a script for both the teams. We're going to have to air it out no matter what. The matchup really isn't there for anything else. He's going to be chucking. He is coming off of a pretty good game last week, so a little different of a matchup, but I think he'll be forced into the script no matter what. He's throwing for 2.
All right. Let's hope it turns out like Kirk Cousins square last night.
Would be goated.
Right? I locked it in. I dropped a link in the Twitch chat. I'm sure Gootsy's already dropping that puppy in the YouTube as well. W Goots, W Link, W Prize Picks. See if we can go back to back. See if we can go back to back in the Sharp Report formats. Okay? Awesome. Well, the slate today, it's not great, right? But we may do. And you got plenty of winners in the books, plenty of Prize Pick squares you guys can tail as well. So hope you guys enjoyed the Sharp Report segment for today. Now it's time to get into the juicy stuff. Let's get into the NFL weekend preview for this glorious slate. Some might call it the slate of the weekend, slate of the year. Slate of the year. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Goots, run that shit. W's chat. Let's get right into it. We'll talk about Army Navy after this. For now, let's talk about some snooze fests we're liking in the NFL this weekend. Okay, this game the Packers and the Broncos is going to be the exact opposite of what we watched last night. No points, no fun. Want to fade both these offenses, and especially want to fade, the Bo Nix and the Broncos, who I just don't think are that good. Their defense is obviously good, and they've been on absolute fire. So this is the perfect fade spot for the Broncos, who have been splooging left and right. They scored 27 against the Commanders. They scored 24 against Vegas. Their defense showed up as well in that game. Their defense is good. I'll give them that. But their offense, I think, is fraudulent, and this is a good spot to fade against Micah Parsons and this Packers defense that I still think is undervalued a little bit as well. They're not coming off their best couple games. They gave up 21 to Chicago. They won that game and covered, Packers. And they gave up 24 points to Detroit. It's a very good offense. They held them to 24 points, which is solid. This Packers defense is good. Micah Parsons is him. Their secondary is solid. Xavier McKinney's good. This Packers defense is probably going to lead them to a victory in this game. And I love seeing this total dropping from 44.5 to 42.5 when both teams are coming off of overs in their last couple games themselves. So perfect buy low spot for the defenses. Sell high on the offenses after a bunch of points in their last couple games. Packers have hit the over in 3 of their last 4 games. Denver's hit the over in their last 2 games. Sell high on the offenses. Buy low on a nasty slugfest of a game. I think Josh Jacobs gets involved a decent amount in this one. RJ Harvey probably does as well, and that clock's going to be ticking the entire time. Give me the under 42.5. Grab it before it gets any lower.
Ticking. Bo Nix.
Yep.
I'll take you to the rematch of, probably the game of the weekend, I would think, between the Bills and the Patriots. It's absolute cinemas. First times around. Pats, it's plus 7.5. Beat on tape. Sunday Night Football. Absolute legacies. They won in Buffalo. Fantastic game.
Yep.
I think this game's going to be, I can't say the first one wasn't really a chess match. Kind of was, but I think this one's equally a chess match because talked about kind of why I thought they were going to win that game and cover is because the Bills defense is kind of set up to where you want to nickel and dime them down the field and they'll let you do that. They just want to tighten up when it comes in the red zone. So the first game kind of opened with the Patriots trying to, I guess, beat them down the field a little more, and it didn't work. And then they started taking what the defense gives them. Now it's a little different because the Patriots have been on a roll since then. They've actually picked up like a couple different downfield shots in the last couple games, like with Kyle Williams and like Travion's had his splash plays. But now that you go and you get the rematch against this team, I think it's going to be a flip script to where you take what you want from the Bills defense to start. The weather is going to be weird and it's going to be snowy. We saw that not matter last week in a game that's still soared over in Winter Wonderland in Buffalo.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a little different in this one, especially with the Pats coming off of a bye week. I don't think you can come out and just be super aggressive immediately. I think this is going to be a game where it's going to be tight to the vest. You're going to play, I guess, a lot in the shorter intermediate game because that's what you kind of need to do against Buffalo. And I think the Bills are going to run the hell out of the ball too, not just because of the weather, but because that's how they want to win this game. I think over the course of the next couple of weeks, as the Patriots begin to play better teams, you're going to learn their run defense is good, but not as good as it's been. So I think you're going to see that starting with the Bills, and I'm sure you're going to touch on that when we get to a later segment. But just a nasty under and a great game. But I think the Pats are going to be a little rusty coming off the bye week, and this game's everything for the Bills.
Okay. Yeah, officially a must-need for the Bills in this game to keep their division hopes alive. All right. We'll talk more about that game in a moment. For now, let's go to my least favorite segment. Let's talk about some overs.
No fun for Krabs.
Ooh.
No fun.
Let's talk about some overs here. I like points in Baltimore and Cincy. Don't care how square it is. Every over square. So this is my square over of the weekend. It's the over between two teams in a must-win spot. You got the weird Joe Burrow emo interviews. He's probably going to go off for 400 yards and 4 passing touchdowns after he's acting like he's going to jump off a building in GTA. Then you've got the Ravens, who don't even get me started with the Ravens. What a joke. Clown show right now they got going on. Must need. 100% a must need win. I think Goots can probably concur with me on that one. Off of back-to-back losses, the Ravens have to go into Cincy, face off against a division rival that's already beaten them at home this season. Now they have a chance to return the favor against the Bengals and get their lick back, get back to 500s. And I believe if they win this game, they're tied again for first. If not, they're like a half game out. So very, very important game for the Ravens. And the Bengals look like they're a bunch of zombies, a bunch of dead men walking. But if there's one thing we know about Joe Burrow and the Bengals, it's that they're going to score some points against the Ravens. They always do. They always have. Although I do love that the first game in this matchup earlier this season when the Bengals won did go under because the Ravens really didn't do much. So I do think the Ravens carry the weight for this over. I think they show up on the road. They run the ball down the Bengals' throats. Derrick Henry has his best game of the season. Lamar might do something, maybe not. He's got some really, really green prize pick squares up there that scare me a little bit, but I think it's going to be the Derrick Henry game of the year. I think the Bengals, Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow have an absolute day. They have their way with it. Mike's way against the Ravens secondary. No T. Higgins, no problem. Jamar Chase owns the Ravens, unfortunately, for Goots, and he is going to splooge. And Joe Burrow, after crying in the press conferences, is going to deliver a legacy performance. Not saying they win. I lean the Ravens. I think they win this game, but I prefer points, and this total is on the way up from 49.5 to 51.5. You get a good old-fashioned shootout between the Ravens, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. Give me points in this must-need game for both squads.
Must-needs.
Yep.
Absolute must-needs.
Yep.
Speaking of must-needs, I think the Cowboys are there the rest of the season for the most part.
Mm.
And it's been 2 straight weeks with somebody getting shut out in a Vikings game.
Yeah.
Shout out Marcus Mariota and the Commies last week. Mostly JD5. Not a lot of points coming in. The Vikings defense has actually been, whether getting knocked or not, pretty good over the last couple of weeks, even though they've been in some negative game script, which is the reason that they haven't given up a 200-yard passer in a month, just about. Dak probably gets that in the first half. Why the total has gone up so high. But after just absolute snooze fest one way or another for the Vikings, about a month you get to play a Cowboys defense that obviously has been clicking on multiple cylinders, even last week, and kind of a negative game script themselves. But Vikings want to bring a lot of pressure. It hasn't been like the same level of pressure that a Flores defense brought like a year ago, where it was kind of Todd Bowles-esque, just send it every play and give a fuck what happens, super exotic, whatever, but still bringing pressure at a pretty high rate. What is that going to leave? You're going to leave George Pickens on an island? You're going to leave CeeDee Lamb on an island? I can't say Ferg because I don't think he's going to play, but regardless, there's so many options to go to in this offense. It's not going to end up well for the Vikings. And to be honest with you, I think J.J. McCarthy can actually have somewhat of a decent game too. I think not only is it, I guess, buying him after maybe he gets a little confidence against the Commies, even though he realistically didn't do very much in that game. It was a lot of the run game. It was a lot of bad turnovers and defensive scores or near scores. But he played well, and now you get a defense where he doesn't have to make too many decisions. They have not really been good. The run game should have a pretty decent day in this one as well. Same thing as the Patriots. We talked about this with the Cowboys the last couple weeks. Shit run defenses or shit rushing attacks they've been facing. So it's made their rush defense look a little better than it actually is. We'll see what KOC cooks up for this one. I think against this Cowboys defense, we'll have J.J. McCarthy in a decent spot for J.J. McCarthy's, relatively speaking. But love some points in this. I think this is the week of absolute cinema primetime games. This is probably going to be one of them, and maybe it's a little Cowboys heavy. Maybe they put up 40. I think that's the script it could follow, but I think it'll be both ways.
Yep. I actually like the Vikings in this one. I like J.J. McCarthy. I like Kevin O'Connell. And although I am not a Cowboys fan, but I like their team this year. I'm trying to say this in the way that's not to get me in trouble with Commanders fans. I like Dak. I like the addition of Pickens. I think their offense is elite. Their defense is playing much better of late, but they won't look great in this game against a Kevin O'Connell-led offense, where it's still kind of a must-need for the Vikings as well. It's definitely a must-need for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
We're looking to keep their postseason hopes alive. They pretty much have to win out, or might even need some help from the other teams in their conference. But the Vikings are still in a must-need spot here as well. They're coming off a shutout against the Commanders. They finally have momentum for the first time in 2 months. And I'm sure Kevin O'Connell's still trying to prove himself and prove the decision to keep J.J. McCarthy as the starting QB as the right move instead of re-signing Darnold when this team would probably be in the playoffs if they still had him. So they've got a lot of work to do as well. Their defense, good luck against that Cowboys offense. Look, I know Flores is a great defensive mind. They've got some guys, Jonathan Allen. They got a decent D-line. They got a couple good corners. But I don't care who you are. You're going to have some trouble against the Cowboys offense. They're just that good. And I think the Vikings actually keep up and might even pull off an upset here, shock the world as plus 5.5 dogs against the Cowboys. Love points in this game on Sunday Night Football. It totals up from 45.5 to 48 as well.
For what it's worth, if you're betting plus 5.5, as we saw last night in the NFL, you're Jeff.
Yeah.
Which is where that game's sitting at right now.
And I think that's a smash spot, to be honest with you. I'm going to have to decide between taking that and taking your over in this game.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not too difficult of a choice for you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. Looks like Dan Quinn said Jaden Daniels has been cleared for contact, and his health will be the driving factor in determining his status for the final 3 games.
I mean, he needs to keep contact with the fucking bench.
I just don't get it. And some of my buddies are like, if he's healthy, he should play. He needs reps. Brother, do you want him to play next year?
Yeah, like reps.
Do you want him to play next year?
You want reps behind a O-line that's going to get him killed?
Let's get the guy reps in the spring.
Getting reps
in,
from John Bates.
Yeah. What are these reps going to do when the team sucks ass? Let's get him some reps in the preseason next year. Let's get him some reps in the offseason with his actual players like Terry McLaurin. Maybe he shows up for the offseason workouts this year. That'd be nice. No need to get him reps right now when the team is dead. No need.
Dead.
No need. Park his ass on the bench. What are we doing? You like taking your nice car out you're in a race. You have a nice BMW. You're taking a car out on a race. You're already disqualified from winning the race, and you still put your nice car out there, risking it getting destroyed and mucked. Why would you ever do that?
Bad.
Why?
Also,
I just don't get it.
Bengals might hit this over themselves, Krabs. So congrats.
Thank you, Goots. They might.
Yep.
They have the Ravens number. I don't know what it is, Gootsy.
Well, we beat them twice last year, but if you remember those games, they were nuts.
Very close. There was
missed
one that
field goals and OT.
One was had 100 points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So they're always nuts. They always have points, but
Yep.
yeah, we're not winning. So congrats.
Wow. Goots, are you packing up shop for this season?
Yeah, the Pete Alonso news just got me so hyped for baseball.
Yeah. Goots is moving on
And
to
the Ravens
the
have been
Diamonds.
breaking my heart all year. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still in. I'm still involved, obviously.
Over under half a Ravens bar trip for you the rest of the season.
Might be the under.
No.
Might be the under.
That's exactly what I want.
I'm a big fan of watching the game on
No
my
margaritas.
on my own couch.
Sure. You want to hear the broadcast.
I do, and I like going to the bar, meeting some like-minded people.
Yeah.
I might show up again. It's just
Did you
how I
guys
feel
start
that
some
day.
sort of like group chat or some sort of cohort?
Yeah, maybe we
like
can
a Slack group?
we can get that up and moving. Maybe.
Yeah. Have you kept in contact? Have you made some pen pals?
No, I have not. I feel like I have to go more than once for that to happen. Yeah.
All right.
Seeing a pretty big consensus from Steelers and Ravens fans this week.
Yep. No shot the Ravens win. No shot the Steelers win. So
Yeah, go ahead and put up the favorites, kids.
with those favorites, might take care of biz.
Go ahead,
this
and,
weekend.
go ahead and put that section up there.
Happy you put the Ravens in there because I was debating it.
Yep.
We'll talk about it here in a second. We'll let that marinate. Gonna talk about the Chiefs. I'm trying to wrap my brain around how odds makers are very smart. Vegas is very smart. You don't land at that airport, look to the right, look out the window, see the Luxor with that beam shining up, see the Mandalay Bay, the W, see Fontainebleau, and the Conrad and all these great resorts and casinos. You don't see the freaking lights beaming off of them and see them as shiny as they are, with plays like the Chargers plus 5.5. Plain and simple. I'm trying to wrap my brain around why the Chiefs in the Big 2-5, they cannot look worse. How are they laying 5.5 points to this Chargers team that is on fire? It's not like they're playing the Commanders. It's not like they're playing the Ravens. It's not like they're playing the Bucks. The Chargers are one of the better teams in the NFL right now. They're 9-4. They've won 4 of their last 5. You can say what you want about, their offense maybe being a little fraudulent. We'll see what happens down the line at the end of the season. Will they be able to finish the job? I don't know. Right now, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. And right now, the Chiefs are an absolute disgrace to the sport of football. We've all been waiting for this for the last couple of years, preying on the Chiefs' downfall. Well, it's here. And everybody is officially out on Kansas City, as they should be. They just put up 10 points against Houston, and Mahomes threw 3 picks.
True.
They got dominated. Travis Kelce's fumbling balls, handing it right to the defenders. They played terrible last week. They've played terrible every week. They've not covered their last 5 games. They are not good against the spread. They are not winning games. They've lost 4 of their last 5 games. The only win they won was a squeak win against the Colts. This Chiefs team is dead. This Chiefs team mathematically is damn near eliminated from the playoffs. They're 6-7. Who would have thought the Chiefs would be 6-7 before the season started? Probably not many, but now we're at this point where nobody wants to touch them with a 10-foot pole. This is exactly when we dive in head first, like Trey Turner sliding home, and we take the Chiefs laying 5.5 points. The the play the public wants to bet on the least as a favorite in the NFL this weekend is the Chiefs -5.5. Because why are they laying almost a touchdown against the red hot Chargers? Why are they not laying 2.5? 2.5 would have been a normal line here in this spot, in my opinion. 3. Make this a pick 'em. Still give the Chiefs some respect. Make it a coin flip against a much better, bigger, faster, stronger Chargers team. 5.5 is Vegas tipping their hand. It's them showing you their hand, and we're making coins off of it. Give me the Chiefs laying 5.5 points. We're going to be the only people on the planet still backing Pat Mahomes, and that's the exact spot we want to be in. The Chiefs win this game by 10+.
Certainties. Speaking of dead teams, if you think after we just watched a great game, albeit and a loss, Bengals just went back and forth, band for band, probably should have won the game, but went to battle with Josh Allen in Buffalo in Winter Wonderland. Shit was a blizzard. A fantastic game. Just fantastic game with a cover. Right after. We were stuffing our faces with while Lamar was getting stuffed into the fucking on Thanksgiving. With the same exact game that they won by 18 points, just an absolute dominant game from the Bengals. You think after that the Ravens are going to lose this game? I've got some beachfront property in Wyoming to tell you, right next to Kanye's place. The Ravens, I agree with you on this one part. I think Derrick Henry is going to absolutely dominate this game. And that is rare coming from me because you know what he's been printing the entirety of the season? 3-yard runs because he can't get past the line of scrimmage for shit. I think he's going to absolutely dominate this Bengals defense, which saying somebody's going to dominate the Bengals defense is not a hot take because they're fucking dog shit. Even though the one really good game they've had pretty much all season has been against the same Ravens team 2 weeks ago on Thanksgiving. It's not happening. And to be honest with you, the one part I might disagree with you about on this game, I think we see a super rare Ravens defense ducking it. This feels like to me, which ironically is the only game I think I've bet on the Ravens this year. This feels like the Vikings game to me, where nobody wants them. It's a weird situation. Going on the road, you're a short, somewhat favorite. I know they were a little bigger in that game against the Vikings, like 4, I think it was. But I think they're going to dominate this game. I think they're going to have Burrow in a hole. I'm not 100% buying the contrarian angle of Burrow just looking dead and speaking dead, and he's going to come out and throw for 400 like he always does against the Ravens team. I think the Ravens are going to put him in a fucking box. I think they're going to get turnovers. I think Derrick Henry's going to drop Nuck. I think Lamar's not going to have to do much. And if I thought he was going to have to, I wouldn't be betting on the Ravens because he's horse meat. But they ain't losing this game.
Okay.
Bet on the Ravens.
I will say that very few and far in between times about that move.
Bet on the Ravens found a way to sneak that in there. It's just unreal.
Yeah. You got to think of all angles here.
Yeah, I mean, this is cooking.
Ravens haven't covered since November 9th.
Yeah, since I was born.
Over a month.
Yep.
Been over a month.
Since I came out of the womb in 1983.
Yep. Haven't won since Goots is at the World Series for the As.
Yep.
Back in 83.
Yep.
All right.
Back in the day, man.
They get their lick back. They get back to 500. I like it. Lamite. T-Shrek is saying.
Lamite.
Yep, we're betting on Lamite. All right. Awesome. Let's talk about some upsets. Enough talking about the favorites. And overs. Gross. Glad we got this over with. Let's talk about some dogs. And yep, you are seeing the board clearly. You are seeing the graphic clearly here. That is correct. That is me taking the Browns and taking Shador plus 7.5 on the spread. Yep.
What?
I can't resist. I hope Josh is not listening to this, but I think the Bears are fraudulent. I think they're going to lose a couple games in a row here to close out the season. I think they lose this game outright to the Browns. This is the sleepiest, sneakiest spot on the slate this weekend. The Bears are coming off a loss. No way they lose 2 in a row. Well, this is the NFL, folks. They certainly can lose 2 in a row. Okay, anything can happen in this league. That's why we love this league. And I'll be honest, I was a little bit impressed by Shador in that last game against the Titans. Now, they lost. He did win a Hemi Award as well. Shout out Shador somehow winning a Hemi Award from SVP in a game he didn't even win. But his stats were good. He played pretty well. I know a lot of his stats came from screens and his guys broke away, but he had a pretty darn good performance. And against this Bears team who still has a couple injuries on the defensive side of the ball, a couple linebacker injuries, I think you see Shador have a decent day, but I really think it's going to be Keanshawn Judkins, who has an absolute field day in this game against the Bears. I think Judkins mocks in this game. I'll be starting him in my DFS league. he is going to have an absolute field day in this one. And Shador has looked serviceable. I think that's being pretty conservative as well after he had almost 400 yards last week. He's been more than serviceable. And the Bears, I think, could drop 2 in a row here. I think this is a sneaky, sneaky dog spot for the Browns, who are probably the team that people want to bet on the least this week against the Bears when they're thinking no shot they lose 2 games in a row. Well, all we need is them to keep this game within a touchdown. And I think it could get even weirder than that. So, yeah, go ahead and give me the Browns. Give me Stefanski, who is coaching for his life right now. His last saving breath is literally Shador finishing the season strong. And I think there's a chance he could do it. As crazy as that sounds coming from me, there's a chance he could do it. So, give me the Browns. That Browns defense is legit. This total is down to 39. If the total was moving up, if it was around where this opened up at 42.5, I'd be less inclined to take the Browns. But in a low-scoring affair, I'll back the better defense by far, the healthier defense by far. I'll back Myles Garrett, who's about to get 30 sacks this season. He might have 30 sacks in this game against this Bears O-line if Caleb Williams can evade every single sack that's about to happen, like he's been doing all season. So, yeah, go ahead and give me the Browns. Plus 7.5. They keep this game weirdly close.
I can't believe what I'm hearing right
Yeah.
now. In this game, after an unbelievable splooge fest,
They still lost.
they did lose.
Still lost.
We're betting on Shador.
We're betting on Shador in the Big 2-5. Sure.
I mean, it is.
Again, you got to have a short memory in this game. You can't hold grudges. If you want to win, it's got to be week to week, day to day.
I agree with that.
Got to hold no grudges unless it's number 99 up in pinstripes.
Yeah, see that.
Up in the Big Apple.
We're going on year 4?
That's the one
Of
grudge.
his fade to go well.
You get one grudge, and that's my one grudge I'm holding on to. I can't get 2 grudges to hold on to here. I got to just let Shador splooge. Let him splooge.
It is truly just.
Yep.
I can't.
Mike Coop said, I picked Browns for Survivor for Bookit Sports last week. It was close. Oh, brutal. We only have like 7 people left as well. I don't want to spoil, but I think they're all on the same play.
So if that's you might want to switch.
It's crazy. So, all right. Yep, taking the Browns on the spread against the Bears. No shot. Caleb Williams and co. loses 2 in a row, right? We'll see. All right, tell me why the Lions are covering. I like this play.
Yeah, another incredible game. This is the other argument for, I guess, game of the day, and probably the one I feel a little more confident about having some points in it.
Yep.
This one should be back and forth, and you look at this game, and I think a lot of people say, after we just watched the other primetime game that happened to be super entertaining for a majority of it with a lot of points, that Lions-Cowboys game, you saw a big win for the Lions with their backs against the wall. You think it's an easy fade spot or regression spot for them going up against the Lions or the Rams in LA. This is going to be a little different of a game now, especially because what I saw from that game from the Lions, sure, you were playing a Cowboys defense that I thought you matched up pretty well against. That's why we took them in the first place. Secondary league soil. It's kind of a good matchup for everything that Jared Goff is good at. So, like, you could take everything short with Jahmyr Gibbs. He had a splooge fest. They didn't really need to run him too many times. But after that, I think they gain a lot more confidence in the offensive game plan. You're going on the road now. Your back's against the wall still because you might not even get the playoffs at this point. You get to play a Rams team that I think is a little fat ass you can place in after absolute destruction at the hands of the dog meat Cardinals. But that game was never a sweat. Now you go, and I think this is a game where Dan Campbell, for better or for worse, is going to try and win this game in the trenches. Now you look at this game and you're like, oh, they're pretty banged up on the trenches. They have been all year. They've struggled to protect Jared Goff. They've struggled in the run game at times too. How are they going to win in the trenches against this Lions team, this Rams team? Sorry. I think this is the perfect game for a couple of reasons. One, you've already seen, if you're the Rams, what Jared Goff will do when he's under pressure if you give him that space. Like, you would think that you would go Todd Bowles strategy. Splits the shit out of him, get pressure on him. He's not great under pressure, but you have Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield or coming out of the backfield. How much can you really pressure him? That's one of the most dangerous players in space in all of football. Like, if you're the Rams, this is not going to be your typical game plan. And if you look at when this has happened, look at what happened with Saquon. They didn't bring very much pressure in that game. They ended up losing that game, obviously, in pretty fluke fashion. But the 49ers, same deal. These are all games where it was a very physical rushing attack that they were facing. It was a pretty dangerous guy out of the backfield in the receiving game that they're facing. This is the only times it seems like they've looked human as a defense outside of the Carolina game, which I think was an anomaly in itself. So I think the Lions offense goes in and drops Nuck, especially being if I'm betting on the Lions, I want it to be back against the wall in a spot where Dan Campbell can throw shit at the wall and hope it sticks. Go in there with toughness on the road and not a tough road environment, as we all know in SoFi. That's the deadest place in football, I guess I would say. The most neutral fan base ever. But he's going to go in there and play with toughness, but also get your chance to beat Dan Campbell in this game. And it feels like a Plum's Dan Campbell game to me. Last week when we bet on them, it was a little different. It was stylistically, I think there was no way the Cowboys could match up with them defensively. Now it feels like you kind of have strength versus strength in this one. And this is a game that you go on the road if you're the Lions, drop Nuck, win.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I'll be on this play myself. Lions +6. I think they're going to be barking. I think they could win this game outright. They hand the Rams their first loss in. Well, they did lose, I guess, against the Panthers, but they've been damn near perfect this whole season, minus a game or two.
This would be their second loss on the road, I think. That was the Niners. The Niners was the only game they lost on the road. Or at home, sorry.
At home, yeah. Yeah, they are 5-1 at home on the ML. They are 4-2 at home against the spread so far this season. So Rams have been a wagon. I think this could be a big time Jared Goff splooge fest.
Yeah, kind of getting that vibe too.
Big time. Right after the Rams bounce back perfectly against the Cardinals with a 45 spot, let's go back and fade them again.
Yeah, I'll tell you, between this week and next week, they ain't going 2-0. And I think the one is
okay. I'm with you.
Big game Thursday Night Football next week. Could be Thursday Night Football game of
that
year.
Might actually be game of year.
Yeah.
That might actually be game of year. All right. Let's move. Let's get to some meat. Favorite plays of the weekend in the NFL. Let's talk meat, and let me talk the Bills for a second here. Talk about a must-need. The Bills, who, by the way, were the heaviest favorite to win their division preseason. And by the way, that team never wins their division in any sports. Jovan's been talking about this for 5 years. Once again, the Bills are not going to win their division unless they win this game and hand the Patriots their third loss. Either way, they've got an uphill battle. It's not going to be easy. And there's been something off with this Bills team damn near all season. Even when they win, they don't really cover. It doesn't look pretty. Their defense can look like the best defense in the NFL. The next week, they can look horrendous. Something's off with this Bills team, but seeing them as a favorite on the road against everybody's public darling, the Pats, everybody's favorite, shiny new toy. Drake May playing great so far this season, might win MVP. Well, after this game, he's not even going to be close, odds-wise, to Matt Stafford to win MVP. And the Pats have won 1 million games in a row. They're dogs at home with an 11-2 record against the Bills, who've looked sketchy. They've looked off so far this season. Let's not forget the Bills opened up -3.5 as well. That was some insane respect for the Bills on the road with how they've looked so far this season. So, yeah, go ahead and give me Buffalo. I'll take them on the ML to get a big-time win against the Pats, their division rival. They get back on track here after a couple sketchy games over the last month or so. They win their third in a row, and they creep right back in the top of the standings in that division. Josh Allen ain't losing this game. He's not. Drake May is going to look like shit for the first time this season.
Yep. Shout out Josh.
Okay.
Give him the splooge. Maybe on the ground. Maybe this is his every couple weeks just random 3 rushing touchdown game.
He says, F it, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Just runs over everybody.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's talk about the Panthers. Love this play.
Yeah, I wish you had that clip up. Totally forgot to get that up and moving. I was thinking about that. But the Panthers, just horrific at favorites. And this season, I don't think they've won one, minus, you could argue, the Jets game, but they didn't open as favorites. So to kind of throw that one out the window. But they're a horrible team at favorite. They're a big zigzag team. They just came off a really big win with a bye week in between. But the Saints, weirdly, out of all the teams they've played, we've seen some bad performances from the Panthers in some of their worst games this year. You can even include the Pats had them in the locker for a while. Even the Jets did in that win where they only scored 13 points. They got held to 9 points at the hands of the Bills. But the worst of them all was against the Saints. First time around, just over a month ago, November 9th, 17-7 game. The Saints really defensively controlled from the start of that game. Even though they kind of carried away late, and I guess the fourth quarter was really the dagger touchdown for the Saints. If you're watching that game, really never felt like the Panthers had a pulse. And that was at home with them also coming off of just really big games themselves. That was one of the most impressive wins of the year, going to Green Bay and winning outright as huge dogs. So they're just an odd team. They're a team that's difficult to figure out at times. And now I kind of wish the Bucks won last night, not for just my fan sanity, but now you have everything in front of you if you're the Panthers. Like, you win this game, you're in firm control, you're in the driver's seat, you control your own destiny with the 2 games against the Bucks remaining. You get to go face the rematch, or get in the rematch with the team you already lost to in pretty disgusting fashion. I think they carry all momentum here in this one. I think this is going to be a game that's won on the ground. Alvin Kamara was the big difference in that game, truly controlling the ground game and keeping the ball out of Bryce Young's hands first time around. Not a factor this time, and as much as I like Tyler Shuck, I think he's the quarterback of the future for the Saints, which also pains me to say a lot. You got to fade him after that legacy performance. Probably the biggest upset win the Saints have had in 2 or something years now, which probably really sucks for their draft stocks. But he went into Tampa in the mud, beat the Bucks, impressive win, gritty performance by him. Now you get to come back home against the Panthers team you've already beaten, you've already dominated, you've already looked great against. It's not going to go as well this time around. I think you get a Tet absolute destruction game, which they could have connected on a couple deep shots that Bryce Young just missed him on in that first time around. He still ended up with 5 for 60. Now you're going to connect them. Especially coming out of the bye week, I think you're going to have a better plan. Easier said than done, but this is the Panthers. They're going to be pounding.
Okay. Like the Panthers here. I don't think the Panthers have won a game as a favorite, like you were saying, in forever.
The only slight one is the Jets. They closed as favorites, but didn't open as favorites.
Okay.
Flip flopping back and forth. I'm not counting that. They didn't open as favorites. Other than that, it's been
eons. All right. Love the play. Let's power through our prize pick squares here. I mean, this one shouldn't take long. You guys knew it was coming. Jahmyr Gibbs and Devontae Adams, less than 1.5 rush and receiving touchdowns combo. Guys, you think prize picks is where they're at right now with squares like this hitting? Let's be real. Cut the shit. Okay. You think prize picks is in Uber's old office in Atlanta? I think they've upgraded to a new one by now. You think Prize Picks is like a top 3 app for sports on the App Store with squares like this going more than? Give me a break. Cut the shit. Okay? This looks like the easiest square ever. This looks like taking the less than last night on the Godwin Pitts touchdown square. Jovan, how did that one go?
Yeah, they both scored.
They had 3 touchdowns combined, I believe.
I think Pitts had
4 touchdowns combined. Okay? So had a pretty good read about these combo squares. Not even just recently, but this season. And here's another green one for you guys. If you have the stones, okay, because again, in this game, you can't be scared. You can't play fearful. You got to be aggressive. You got to take stuff that makes no sense. You got to take stuff that you don't want to. You got to lock in wagers that after you place them, your stomach gets a little queasy. And this is the perfect example of a queasy stomach POD. Jahmyr Gibbs and Devontae Adams, they might score once. But they ain't scoring twice, Jovan. They ain't scoring twice. Give me the less than on the 1.5 rushing and receiving touchdown combo. Gibbs is in a game with a total at like 55. Or both these guys are in a game with a total at like 55 points.
Yeah. 55.
Looks like probably the easiest over of the week. It looks like the easiest more than on prize picks. Yeah, I'll be fading and holding my breath and then counting my guap after they only score once or maybe 0 times. Who knows? No way this square turns green on the more than. No shot. No shot.
Yes.
And then Mahomes ain't throwing a pick. I think he had 3 last week.
Yep.
He's thrown like 6 picks in the last 5 games. He has been uncharacteristically very generous with the football this year, which you don't see very often, and not in a good way. Well, Mahomes is going to cut the shit. He's going to get a big-time win. They're going to win by 10+. He's going to throw a perfect game. Travis Kelce's going to be a monster. And Mahomes is not throwing a pick. He's going to step up. He's going to take command. He's going to lead his team to victory. And they're going to look good for the first time pretty much all season.
This might be an NFL season record of how many times Mahomes been on the card.
He's been on there a lot. He is not treating me well. He's not.
It's where we snap it.
Yep. All right, real quick, give me your sell jobs on your 2 favorite NFL squares of the weekend.
Yeah, Tet's going to be busting. I'll keep both of these quick, but I mean, just incredible matchups down the line. I don't think this is going to be a game where the Panthers are going to be fully allowed to win it on the ground because the Saints' run defense has actually been a little better than you think over the last couple of weeks. Found that out last week, unfortunately, but they've been good up the middle. They're not going to be great toward the outside, but I think through the air, Bryce Young is going to have a field day to Ted. Like I said, they should have had a lot more yards than 60 first time around. I think he gets in the end zone multiple times as well. I think this is like his splooge fest type game. with Nuck online, take control of the division. Unfortunately, put them in prime playoff position. Shout out Todd Bowles.
Sure.
DeAndre Swift. I think you can get away with both running backs in this game, frankly, if you're the Bears. And I don't know if I'm quite on the Browns with you, but I don't think this rush attack is scared of anybody. Which Ben Johnson's been crafting some devious shit. Reminds me of what Liam Cohen did last year with the run game. All the different packages, all the different pulls, all the different everything. And I especially think, from what I've watched of this run game, Common On guy has been elite at kind of going up the middle between the guards. He finds those holes. DeAndre Swift can clearly not. When they're facing somebody that they have to go around, a.k.a. when you have a really good edge rusher on one side, they're usually running towards the other side, around outside the tackles with DeAndre Swift. And you're getting one of the best, probably the best edge player in all of the NFL right now. You're probably going to run away from him if you're Ben Johnson in this offense. The guy that they've been doing that with in every sort of package is DeAndre Swift. And obviously the weather kind of speaks for itself in this game. It's probably going to be pound again. I think volume-wise, you can get rid of or get away with multiple guys, not just one here. It could be Manon guy as well, but I think DeAndre Swift's the guy that's in best shape for a really good matchup this one.
Great sell job. Swift splooging in a very, very chilly game this weekend.
Chilly.
Okay. Awesome. Well, it's about that time, gents. We got to power through the squad rides. We got the Surge stream starting up right after this in about 6 minutes. Goots, do me a favor if you're around, if you're local, run that shit. I'm trying to see that train. All right, chat, let's stay hot. Don't be afraid to pick an under as well. It's okay to cash on unders. It's okay to root for no fun if you like making money and you're not here just for 400-point performances and your viewing pleasure. Me personally, I'm here to hit bets and make money. And my favorite hit bets make money play of the night is Texas UConn under 145.5. Wow. No fun, no points, but a winner. What about you, Jovan? What is your favorite play on the card for tonight?
Well, it might be a little more fun. I'd like to go to the FCS.
Wow.
If possible.
Can I get a Kyle Juice check on the total?
Still seeing 53.5.
Cool. All right. Is this a day we just go quality over quantity, 2 plays, 2 winners?
Do that.
Kind of like that.
Even F. Austin abbreviations.
SFA.
SFA. Montana State.
If you saw that, probably didn't. Their coach was bitching because he always says SF Austin. He's like, dude, playing on one of the main ESPN channels on Friday. Get it right. He's bitching. Fired up.
Interesting. I think we got 2 plays, 2 winners.
Plays 2 winners.
I think we keep it simple for today.
Fun and no fun.
1 fun, 1 no fun. Let's see who wins. Chat, 2 plays, 2 winners. You got 5 minutes. Hurry up, go, go, go. 2 plays, 2 winners. Less than 5 minutes. Hurry up, go, go, go. Goots is going to drop the link in the chat. If you want to tail, click the link to go to Twitter at BookitBTL and lock in your vote right now. Hurry up. You got less than 5 minutes. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Get involved. Get involved. I'm going to lock in my vote right now as we speak. If I can do it mid-show, you guys can do it too. Okay?
Somebody asking what time does Trent start taking people's chips?
That's tonight at some point.
7 Central, I believe. So 8 Eastern.
Central.
Okay.
8 Eastern.
Cool.
Certain days.
Cool.
Also have honorable mention, fourth book play in Sharp Report. Austin Eckler plus 115 against Bookit with Trent.
Yes.
Trap line of the day.
Sure.
Eckler ML PODs.
Trent minus 145, fake sharp.
Fake sharp.
Okay.
A lot of value on Eckler.
If Eckler knew that Trent is the reason why his Achilles snapped, he'd probably play with a little more of a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Maybe we could DM him or tell him.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably should.
Okay.
Also,
maybe that should be a squad ride. Maybe it's fuck Montana State. Fuck Texas Xavier.
take Eckler. Pega went through every single one of like the college football season preview bets, the NFL season preview bets we did. On Monday, we're gonna get a graphic. We're gonna recap all the college football.
Wow,
ones, so
nice. Love
Alabama
that.
10 wins exactly would be on there.
Are we gonna get a Are we gonna get a unit count as well? Along with
we
record.
can do the whole thing.
Whole shebang. Yeah, whole shebang. Awesome. Chat, get those votes in. You got 2 minutes. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. 2 minutes to get your votes in. Texas, UConn, under 145.5. And the SF Austin, Montana State, over 53.5. Get those votes in. We should have way more votes. We have hundreds of people in here watching, and we don't have hundreds of votes. Riddle me that. Riddle me that. Does not make a whole lot of sense besides people being fat, happy, complacent. I'll say it. Take 1 second. Click on the link that's pinned in the Twitch and dropped in the YouTube. Take 1 second. Click on that link right now and go over to Twitter and lock in your vote for the Squad Ride poll. Hurry up, go, go, go. Could not be easier. Don't be a me guy. Be a team player today. Start the weekend off right and lock in a vote. Click one little button. It takes legitimately 1 second. Okay, lock in your vote. Hurry up, go, go, go. Okay. Awesome. UConn and Squad Ride, auto vote for me. Let's go, Sonny Dutchie. Let's go, Sonny Dutchie. Thoughts on Herbert becoming a me guy? Yeah, I did not expect that, Z-Shrek, but I guess that's what happens when, you start dating Madison Beer and the spotlight gets to your head. You turn into a me guy.
Me guy.
It is what it is. It's unfortunate to witness. Once a Krabs guy, now turn to me guy.
Quick Navy thoughts.
That's probably why he's throwing all those picks. Yeah, quick Navy thoughts. Stay off of Navy on the spread. Stay off of Navy on the spread. Hate to say it, but the dog typically barks in this matchup. And Army's probably going to want to be getting their lick back after we embarrassed them last year at the Feds. I'm assuming Army's going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Navy. Navy could be a hair, fat, happy, complacent. Navy has all the pressure. And Navy has a lot of guys making their final starts of their college career, which, my contrarian brain thinks. It thinks that might be cake. So I'd take Army, a team that had some momentum in the second half of the season, on the spread. You won't see me betting on it. The one team I don't fade is Navy. Can't do it. My body will not let me click the button. But if I was you guys, I would take Army plus 6.5. That's a free wager. That is a free wager. Yep.
No.
It is. It is, unfortunately. Yep.
That's just.
Wish that wasn't the case. Wish I could sit up here and say it's Navy. Navy's free. They're going to roll in this game, but they're not.
They're just looking forward to game of the year. Liberty Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm seeing Navy up.
Squad Ride.
That's crazy.
Texas, UConn under.
Wow. Dusting off old Krabs once again. It's been
Krabs
Krabs week.
Yeah, he's been dedusted for days.
Yeah, no need to even dedust. I'm already dedusted.
Chat buying in.
Sure. Love to see it. W stream today, guys. Hope you have a great Friday. Stick around. We got the Surge stream starting up right after this. Hope you guys enjoy the Army-Navy game tomorrow. Hope you have a great weekend. Good luck on all your bets on Sunday. And we'll catch you guys on Monday. Same time, same place. We'll be.